I'd like to call this meeting of the Dalton-Whitfield Planning Commission to order for January 20, 2026. I will turn it over to Chairman Litterdale.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Tonight, we do have 8 issues to look at. 7 are in the county. 1 is an amendment to the Unified Zoning Ordinance. The other one is in the city of Dalton. Before we get to that, I'd like to, we do have a quorum tonight. All members are present, and we need to read the minutes of the previous meeting. Any additions, deletions? Motion?
Move approve as presented.
Chris makes a motion to approve. Eric seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Before we get to the meeting, Mr. Ethan Calhoun from the Northwest Georgia Regional Office will review the processes and the paperwork for tonight's meeting. Ethan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, the meeting tonight will follow our agenda. There should be copies of those out front. If you'd like to have a hard copy, you can see it on the screen there as well. And the chairman will bring us through this meeting and follow a particular procedure. That procedure will be exactly the same for every item on the agenda tonight. And how that's going to work is the chairman's going to open that item up for discussion. I'm going to come forward to the podium and give a brief presentation, make a recommendation. Then the chairman's going to ask for the petitioner, that's the individual here tonight who's requesting to rezone their property or to represent any other of the items on the agenda, to come forward and answer any questions or describe what your plan is for the property. And at that point, once those comments have been heard, the chairman is going to ask if anyone other than the petitioner would like to speak in favor of that item. Once all comments in favor of the item have been heard, the chairman's going to ask if anyone here would like to speak in opposition to that particular item. It's very important that if you are here tonight to speak in opposition or against and make an argument why a property shouldn't be rezoned, make sure to grab one of the forms out front. We've got some things set up on the table. They say opposition forms. There's one for the county, one for the city. I think folks have already picked up all the ones for the county, so there's some forms left that say city. Just mark out city and write county on the form. And just on that form, please note the agenda item, some information that we can use to make sure we have the right form and the right item together for the record. When you fill out that form and sign it, make sure to print your name clearly so that we can ensure we get your correct name in the record for your comments to be written and recorded in the record and sent forward to either the City of Dalton or the Board of Commissioners for their final decision. Once the comments in opposition have been heard, the chairman is going to give an opportunity to the petitioner to come back to the podium and address any of those concerns that were raised in the opposition's remarks. At that point, if no new information is presented, the chairman is going to close that public hearing and move to the next item. And at that point, there'll be no further comment on that particular agenda item. Again, that same procedure will follow suit for every item on the agenda. And after all the public hearings have been held, the chairman will move us into the regular meeting. You're all welcome to stay for that, but there's no public comment or feedback in that portion of the meeting. That's where the Planning Commission deliberates and makes a recommendation that'll be sent forward to the Board of Commissioners and the mayor and councils. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Ethan. First request is to hear from G. Bonner Properties LLC to rezone from rural residential R5 to zero lot line residential R4. This is 7.21 acres located along Waring Road, and this one is in the county. Ethan?
Is he here?
Oh, good question. G. Bonner Properties, are you here? Yes. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So here we have a request from rural residential to zero lot line residential, and we can see the subject property, a little over 7 acres, with road frontage along quite a distance of the property there, creating the opportunity for number of access points, and the petitioner is proposing to essentially increase the lot density of the subject property. And in comparing that in an apples-to-apples manner, you can have a lot, a little over 4,000 square feet in R4. A lot closer together, a lot smaller individual lots. And R5, the smallest lot achievable is 7,500 square feet, or about 10,000 square feet if you're talking about a duplex. And it is worth mentioning in this case that duplexes are permitted in the R5 zone district, and that's what the property is currently zoned. Either one of these two zone districts, if you're going to develop to a higher lot density, would require public sewer. Any expansion that would be necessary would, of course, come at the expense of the petitioner. In terms of comparing apples to apples and overall unit per acre density, R5 and R4 are not that different. If the developer were to use duplex dwellings, you would have a similar unit per acre density. Fewer lots, but unit per acre would be comparable to that in R4. The R4 zone district is limited to site-built, single-family detached dwellings only. And that is the primary difference between the two. R4 is a stricter use, single-family detached. R5, you can have duplexes, manufactured homes, or site-built dwellings on lots as small as 7,500 square feet. We can see the map there, a lot of R5 zoning. We do have R2 and R3. So we see somewhat of a higher lot density in this area. Here we can see the subject property currently undeveloped. And it's within the emerging suburban character area, which of course are areas in the county where the comprehensive plan has speculated additional development, infill development, and new subdivision development. Here is a preliminary site plan from the developer to give us an idea of the layout of the subject property. If it's rezoned, you can see this would include the building of new county roads that would then, of course, be taken over by the county after the completion of the subdivision and then maintained by the county over time. And of course, that allows them to build additional lots, as we see here, as well as accommodate stormwater requirements that would accompany any major subdivision development. Of course, if this rezoning is approved, the subdivision plat review process would require a preliminary and a final plat review process that would go through administrative approval and ultimately to the Planning Commission. With all that in consideration, the staff recommendation is that the rezoning can be approved.
You did mention public sewer. Is it available?
Yes, in the area, any extension from wherever the line currently is would come at the expense of the developer.
You know about where that is, Ethan, where the current line is?
It should be
Ballpark, I was just kind of curious.
Rauschenberg Road.
Okay. So that would have to tie in and come up Waring, presumably.
That likely would probably be the route.
So with it being zoned R5 presently, just to kind of recap what you said, they could put mobile homes, duplexes, those things on there now.
At 7,500 square feet.
So basically, they're 34 lots that they've got planned here. If it were R5, would be somewhere in that 20 range. Yeah,
That's
give or
right.
take a
It'd
few.
be pretty comparable.
Just something like that. So you're picking up an extra 13, 14 lots, but you're eliminating the possibility of duplexes, mobile homes, things of that nature.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Well, what you just said, though, Chris, is important because it's 20 lots, but some of those could be duplexes. So it may not, in terms of,
If it was R5, if it remained R5.
if it remained R5, you could have, a lot of people in that same area, maybe a comparable number of,
A little more dense, but more restrictive.
Correct.
Now, these are single-family homes now.
yeah,
Requested.
correct.
Mr. Calhoun, I have a question, please.
Yes, sir.
In your analysis, you talk about the, in item 3, you talk about the property based on the amount of adjacent lot. I see raw land there.
There were some
units in the area that are aging. I believe they may be to the north. So there's record of some blight in that area. The R4 would be strictly single family, fee simple.
What's the square footage minimum on those houses, Ethan? What would they be from a minimum? What are we looking at?
I believe that's 1,000 square feet minimum, I believe.
Whatever is allowed now,
What's that?
whatever is allowed now.
Right now, there would essentially be no minimum square footage in R5, other than what the International Building Code would require.
We'll ask the petitioner that, but is that what what he's planning is 1,000 square foot?
No, I do not know what their floor plan is. They may be able to better explain.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Okay,
Good.
thank you, Ethan.
Thanks. Thank you.
Bonner Properties? Your name and
Thank you.
address, please.
Greg Bonner.
Comments?
Oh,
Okay.
your address, please?
I can address you or I can answer
No,
questions.
your address.
Physical address.
903 West Walnut Avenue.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Currently, as was discussed, the properties are R5 right now. If we take it as is, we get 24 lots on it. And again, they could be anything. The reason we want to go to R4, with that being on the railroad, you've got some crazy railroad right-of-ways that kind of jog here and there. Well, what that does, if you see the first road coming in, off Waring Road, just a straight-in road, that would just come down there and stop, couldn't go all the way in, and there would not be an access road back out. So in theory, a school bus would have to come in, back out. If we go to R4, it is called zero lot line, but our lots are gonna stay basically the same. We've set them up for 50-foot lots. We need to monkey around with about 4 lots is all to work within that right-of-way, but by doing that and given that latitude, it does let us drop that road, finish the county road all the way back out. So in essence, we've got a circle that we'd be putting in. And the benefit to us is it takes our lot yield from 24 to 34. So they are all single-family homes. We're looking we may have one model at 1,250 square feet. We're looking in the 1,350 up to around 1,400 square feet.
What's your price point, Greg?
Probably gonna start around 259, try to keep it under 280. We wanna be under where everybody else around there is going in at right now.
Any type of HOA or anything? of that?
We are gonna set up an HOA, and we're looking at some of these HOA management companies. I've done them myself in the past. I don't wanna do them now. So we'll get an HOA management company, but yeah, that is the plan.
And the plan is for you to construct these yourself, not just sell a finished,
I'm sorry.
your plan is to develop these yourself, not sell a completed development to another builder.
You're
No,
gonna
no,
you're
no,
gonna
no.
develop
We're
it
gonna
and build it.
develop,
And build
build, and
the
sell.
houses.
That's right.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No questions? Thanks. Anybody else would like to speak in favor? All right, anybody like to speak in opposition? Ma'am, you raised your hand first. We've got a clock here on the wall. Jean's gonna manage. Keep an eye on that.
I won't take long.
Okay.
I've been living there for
Name and
my life.
Okay, name and address, please.
2969 Old Waring Road, Teresa Louise Womack. I've had cancer for 15 years, and I'll be honest with you, there has been a lot of mishaps, problems in that area in the past, and it seems like the more people that come in, the more problems I have. My stress level can't handle it with chemotherapy, so on and so forth. Honestly, I feel like when you put that many people in one area, there's gonna be problems. I mean, I've been there all my life, and it's always been quiet, and that's just not the case when you get more people in there. That's my main concern, as well as when they built the other houses around there, which I've not had any problems with thus far, except for the way that they're developing, the water is coming to my property and causing me problems in that area that have had to be fixed. So that is a concern for me.
You're
At
talking
this
about the subdivision that's up on the hill from you that
Yes,
they,
yes. I mean, as far as that is concerned, I don't know that that would hurt my property with the water, but it is a concern to me to have that many people moving in and being that close. Through the years, I've had people steal from me. I've had to call the law on kids that just was unruly. Their parents didn't take care of them or whatever the problem was. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I just had to address stuff that really shouldn't have had to have been addressed. So it is a very big concern on my part.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Anybody else would like to speak? Ma'am? And if you can pull that down.
Yeah.
so-
Okay, good evening. Okay, so my name is Catherine Posada. I live as well with my grandmother at 2969. Jeez, I feel loud. Okay, so I want to be clear that I'm definitely not in opposition to any housing or growth in the area. I do feel like my concerns about this particular area itself is also safety, environmental concern, and as well as I don't believe the area itself is appropriate for increased residential density. I feel like there was a lot, even just right up on that hill, that Chairman, sorry, how do you say your?
Shiflett.
Shiflett, yes, that you currently passed addressed. I want to also say that the particular property is immediately adjacent to those active train tracks, and it's served by that narrow road. That road was not designed in any way to safely handle the traffic that goes through the area. As well, we've had issues, if you could see the road that goes right down to 2969, that point almost, at the very sharp point, is also a very big issue for collisions and such. We've had issues in the past where people would just go down, that very space. Well, regardless, I want to say that the wooded area also serves as a wildlife corridor. A lot of deer in the area and a lot of other wildlife have basically migrated to that little area because of all the tree that has been basically cut down around there. So I don't think that rezoning should be considered in isolation either. It represents a pattern of environmental loss and density increases that change the character, safety, and I believe the sustainability of this very area. Again, with the water issues that my grandmother addressed, it has been an issue. But I respectfully ask the commission to deny the rezoning request and consider the safety impacts on the surrounding community. But that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll take one more. Does anybody else like to speak against? All right. Mr. Bonner, if there's anything that you'd like to rebut?
I appreciate their concerns, but I think one thing you got to bear in mind here, we're not asking to take something from agriculture to residential. Like y'all pointed out, we could fill it up with trailers if we wanted to. It's zoned R5. So we're trying to better the area and hope that the residents around there, because there is some blight in the area, will appreciate what we've done to the area when we're through. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that said, I think we will close the public portion on this request. The next one is to hear from Wayne Burgess to rezone from R4 to R5, 2.39 acres located at 104 Elrod Drive. Mr. Burgess? Thank you. Ethan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a property that was rezoned not that long ago. It was originally zoned, I believe it was commercial, and requested to zone to zero lot line residential. So we already know what the correlation between R4 and R5 is, so I won't go back through that. But we have an area here, this convergence between the commercial zone district, general commercial zone district, and the residential and agricultural districts here. Of course, East Wallen Avenue is the primary corridor, arterial corridor here that feeds a lot of the commercial development. We can see the zoning map again. The subject property lies right at that convergence. Here we can see the development in the area, a lot of commercial again surrounding the subject property. Closer look, we have some aging or blighted commercial buildings on the subject property. Of course, formerly the proposal was to redevelop the subject property with that zero lot line residential type housing. And the petitioner in this particular case, instead of doing R4, would prefer to be able to do the duplex dwellings and would like to have that option. And so they've requested to go R5 with that flexibility in mind. Difference being at this location versus the other, you have a high intensity of land use in this area, commercial. You have a very near access to, of course, Wallen Avenue. And the subject property, of course, you can see adjacent to the north. There's essentially manufactured home park there as well. So we do see an existing instance of a multifamily type or a higher density residential development. So in terms of R4 to R5 at this location, again, we believe this is a comparable density situation and development opportunity and did not see any negative potential impact on any of the adjacent properties. Based on all of the those factors and the comprehensive plan has this marked for suburban development. Again, based on the surrounding density and development, we believe this would be a reasonable development for the subject property and likely an improvement from its current state. Overall, staff recommendation is to approve. Be happy to answer any questions.
Questions? Thank you, Ethan.
Thank you.
Mr. Burgess?
Hello, I'm Wayne Burgess, 311 East Emory Street. I recently purchased a property at 104 Elrod. The property is currently zoned R7, like they said, and I'm requesting it to be rezoned to R5. Reasons why is I'm wanting to do,
He says R7. What's?
oh, I'm sorry, R4.
Okay.
Okay.
R4.
Gotcha.
R4. And I'm asking for it to be zoned to R5. And the reasons for that is I'm wanting to do larger lot sizes and a slightly larger single-family homes with a mixture of duplexes, no mobile homes. It gives me some flexibility on what I'm doing there if I can do a mixture of both. And, and the other main reason is if we keep it R4, and I do this, which I could still do this without the duplexes, but in the future, the neighbors could apply for a building permit and build their additions all the way over to the lot line. And then it would get very congested, so.
Ethan, do you mind pulling up that aerial? All right, I know this may not be exact. Wayne, it looks like your property line runs through that building.
It actually doesn't.
Okay.
This is the old Cochran lumberyard, and it's been in the properties, that family for a very long time. When they sold the property next door, there was a problem that's been straightened out. We've got it straightened out now with a new survey. It actually has a little notch. Let me see. There's a little notch that goes out around all that area there. That's been fixed, that we've had fixed with a title. We've had all that fixed now, but yes. And so, and I don't know exactly, I didn't run it with R4. I wasn't interested in building a road. I would think there'd be maybe 15 or 20 houses if I put in a road. I have no interest in putting in a road. This would just be 6 larger lots, real simple, no roads, no nothing. And I'm planning on doing a mixture of, instead of smaller 1,000 to 1,200 square foot homes, some would be 1,800 square foot, around 350, and there'd be 1 or 2 duplexes is the plan right now.
Basically, access to each lot just off of a
Yeah,
common
there's
easement.
ton of road frontage. Everybody
I wouldn't
would
think about
have,
that.
instead of the 40 foot, everybody would have 50. A couple on the edge would be, a couple of them there would have 100 foot of road frontage.
So you're basically just going straight back with
Yes,
the
yeah.
lot line.
Simple, larger lots, everybody, they are, you know, people trying to do the super small and the super small price. This is one step up to where we really have a shortage, 1,800 square foot, 3, 4 bedrooms, probably be mainly 4 bedrooms, a little bit larger house, a little bit larger yard. And they all have direct access. Already met with the county. We've already got the permission on the driveways, so
And you're not looking at manufactured homes, you're looking at site built?
no manufactured homes, all site built. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Chris? All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else like to speak in favor? Anybody like to speak in opposition? Very well. We will close the public portion on that request. Next one is to hear from Melody Hammondtree seeking to rezone from general agriculture to medium-density, single-family, that's GA, to R3, 6.44 acres located on the north right-of-way of Rauschenberg Road. Ethan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In this case, we have a slightly different situation. We're in a general agriculture zone district, which we can see on the zoning map is surrounds the subject property on 3 of its boundaries, north, east, and south. The petitioner's request, stated in their application, is to be able to build up to 15 new single-family detached dwellings that would be constructed along the existing right-of-way of Rauschenberg Road. When we look around the subject property, we can see particularly the biggest dividing line where we see this change in development pattern is the railroad, which you can see right bisects north to south in the middle of the map there. Across the tracks to the west, we do see a higher density development pattern along Tunnel Hill Varnell Road, and we do see some islands or spot zones of industrial and manufacturing along that area. But if we look around the subject property, north, south, and west, we see predominantly larger lots, even in the residential, the R5, the R2 zone districts. We do see a larger lot density in that location. We can also see significant curvature around the subject property with the access road, with all of these individual driveways accessing the existing street versus a single point of access like a major subdivision. So there's a couple of design features there that create a little bit of concern in regard to the existing character of the area based on the surrounding zoning and development and potential vehicle conflict points, site visibility in the future with some of those driveway access points. Here we can see a development around the subject property, very much like the zoning map in this area. We do see significantly larger lots than what we see along the western side of the railroad tracks. And we see several agricultural properties, and again, the residential is mostly a larger lot, single-family detached, low density. It's within the emerging suburban character area, so this is an area speculated to be developed for more residential use in the future. But again, based on the existing adjacent residential development, the lot sizes proposed in the R3 zone district would be significantly less than what we see established in this area. So staff recommendation in this case was not necessarily to consider the R3, but consider an R2 rezoning. That would create slightly larger lots, additional setbacks, a slightly larger dwelling, and but still allow for some residential development, but restricted again to single-family detached, similarly to what we would see in R3, but simply on a larger
What
lot.
would that do density-wise as far as the number of homes being constructed if you went to R2? They're asking for 15. What might that, I know it depends, but is there sewer here or no sewer?
There should be sewer available right around 201 there, so they may have to do a short extension.
Okay, so parking, septic tanks don't matter. So on 6.44 acres, if it were R2 versus R3, what's the difference in number of homes they could put on that property?
It's
How close to 15 could they get if they went R2?
What's square footage difference between the R3 and R2 on the lots?
R3 will allow you to carve out a lot 7,500 square feet in size. R2 on sewer is 15,000. So it's essentially half the lot density. Now, it's unlikely that they're gonna develop this to the ultimate potential of the property based on the acreage due to the fact that they're not building a road. They're gonna have to use existing right-of-way.
So it will drop from 15 to 7.
Maybe not.
Maybe not quite that far. It would reduce the
They may have some
overall
lots that are a little bit skinnier, you know, that go back, you know, have a higher acreage, but they're not as wide, which you'd have to get, you know, that approved through the planning process, but they could still get 10.
I would say reasonably, easily 10.
Yeah.
But that would also prevent setting any precedent in that area for future development on some of the larger undeveloped tracts as well.
Got it.
So your recommendation, if it's an R3, is to deny it?
That's correct. But the alternative, if the petitioner is interested in R2, that would be a viable thing. And that would keep them from having to go back through a process. And because it's a lower intensity zone district, that can be done without having to re-advertise.
Thank you, Ethan.
Thank you.
Melody Ammontree? Ethan,
I'm Caleb Hammondtree.
Okay.
On behalf of Melody.
can you address, please?
3114 Mount Pleasant Road.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I think this map that we're looking at is a little bit deceiving. The 6 acres is extremely isolated by Rauschenberg Road, a big tree line to the north, and then the railroad. And if you were to zoom out on that map just slightly, you would see that all of the general ag property that is connected right there is all surrounded by the majority of R5 zoned property. I think you could actually make the argument that due to recent zoning changes in the area, that it is now the general ag property that is out of place. But with that said, it would actually be, and I've got a preliminary site plan because we looked at R2 versus R3 versus R5 before we went into this, and I can share that. But if we were to go R3 as requested, we would have it actually probably be 14 homes, with the 15th lot being a larger undeveloped lot in the back, versus the R2, which would be 11 lots. You know, based on what, that's obviously not been approved, but that's based on what we were looking at, based on the zoning requirements.
What do you plan on building? What type of?
It's looking at probably a 1,250 square foot house, 3-bed, 2-bath. This property was owned by my grandfather and has been in our family since long before I was born. He recently passed away and my mother acquired the property. She owns 10 acres that is directly across from this, and that's where she lives. So no one will be more impacted by this than her. And that's a big part of the reason that we decided to take it and develop it ourselves, so that we could have some control over what it looked like, and we plan to do something that looks nice on the front facade, with some hardy siding and some sort of masonry probably.
What's your price point gonna be?
We're thinking right now probably in the 270 to 280 range. We haven't completely nailed down the floor plan, but that's kind of what we're looking at right now. which is probably in line with, if you look at average sale price of houses in Whitfield County last year in 2025 was $288,000, median sale price $258,000. It's just, that's the market. And it does have sewer that's already run through there along Rauschenberg Road.
That's good.
I have a question. You say the property across the street is where your grandmother or your mother lives?
Mm-hmm.
On the plat that I have here, that shows heavy commercial.
That's the other side. Go just right of the E in the word site. That's their 10-acre tract. It's like a rectangle.
Oh, okay,
Direct-
there.
directly
Okay.
east.
Yeah.
And
But that doesn't have any, the that property doesn't have any entrance to
Right.
the road.
it does. You enter that property off Rauschenberg Road. My mom's house
Oh, yeah.
is
Okay.
east of the property we're talking about. And it's actually bordered to the north. Her property is bordered to the north by 2 lots that are R5. And the 49 acres to the south was recently sold. It's no longer a working farm, and there's probably a pretty good chance at some point somebody's gonna come in here and ask that that be rezoned.
Ethan, could you put the map up that shows the zoning?
Okay,
So that little bulge to the north
yeah.
is the R5.
Yes, sir, and all that to the east.
Now, all of that back to the east, is that, it's kind of a mobile home park that was developed 20 years ago?
Yeah.
I forget the name of it, but
Yes,
So if you will lose 3 lots if you go to R2, correct?
potentially lose 3 lots.
So where's the entrance gonna be to these houses? Are you building a road through this, or how are you gonna, everything gonna enter on Rauschenberg?
Off of Rauschenberg.
it'll end up looking similar to the lots that Brandon Harrison did across
Yeah.
the highway there to the west. Those little skinny lots that have direct road frontage, except I think those have that little one entrance and 4 or 5 off of them. You're gonna have individual driveways for each house.
Yes, sir.
The difference, yeah.
Driveways off of Rauschenberg.
15.
11 to
that-
15.
14.
14. But there's there's ways around that if that's a concern, to reduce the number of driveways and keep the,
What would the road frontage likely be on those lots in linear feet?
they are, I believe they're around 54 feet. And I do have this, if it would help to
Pass it around.
see that.
If it's in R2, you'd have a bunch of flag lots. Yeah, that would be future.
the extra 15 lots.
It's 14 lots, that's 11.
And you're gonna build these homes yourself?
Yes.
So if the decision was made, not saying it is, because I don't know where we're gonna go, but to go R2, recommend R2, could y'all live with R2, or is it R5 or bust, R3 or bust?
Well, we spent a good bit of money on the property, with the thought that we'd be able to get, the numbers are obviously better. I wouldn't say it would be R3 or bust, but we would definitely have to reconsider.
What would you build if it was R2? Would it be the same house, or would you tweak the square footage on those homes?
Well, the thing is, if we go R3, it's a little bit easier for us to upgrade the facades and still be able to make what we need to make on it. we have to go to R2, the incentive's not really there to do that. Because we're gonna have to cut the cost as much as possible to make the numbers work.
Can we see the plat, please?
Oh,
They're just taking a look at it. Okay. Y'all have any more questions? Good. Commissioners, do you have any more questions? All right. Okay, Barry?
Can't hear you.
So with the R2, you'd have to have flag lots.
Correct. To maximize the property.
Any more questions? Very good. All right. If you have, we're done with our questions. If you have anything else?
Nope, that's
All
it.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else would like to speak in favor? Anybody like to speak in opposition? All right, the lady in the back, she was the first.
Good evening. No eloquent speech tonight, so please bear with me a minute. I live
Your name and address, please.
Fiona Kimsey, Durham Street, Dalton. That little road up on the top corner. Right now, it's a nightmare trying to make a left turn from Rushenberg onto, and I'm sorry, I forget what the name of that road is.
Go on.
Yes, trying to make a left turn is an absolute nightmare. People, trucks, everybody come flying that little road. It's a sharp curve. I've almost gotten flat a couple of times with people speeding through there. We have a lot of wildlife that comes to our neighborhood. At times, there's 15, 20 deer that come back there. There's all kinds of wildlife there. My concern is so many driveways off of that road. I mean, it's really hard to navigate that road as it is. I've asked the county to cut some of the trees in the right-of-way off of that road. There are some that are kind of on the top of the road, and we actually lost power because a tree fell on the road. Anytime a power goes out, we are kind of the last ones to get back on. Our water pressure is always terrible. I can't imagine more building around there. It's just a concern for the nature, for concern for the, no, sorry, I got all bent out of shape. Fire services, that road cannot handle that much more traffic. I know that people are in for money, but I think sometimes we have to think about the future of what wildlife and other things can do for our kids. And this is very, very, very frustrating, so please forgive me, I'll been out of shape. But I just would advise or request that you please deny this request. There has got to be some slowing down of these developments in our county. We have way too many. We're not looking at infrastructure. Infrastructure, it's suffering. I mean, there's just not, it's not growing with the building, with the developments. And we just cannot continue down this road. I know some of you are realtors on the board, but you gotta look at it on the other side as well. So, thank you.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else? Somebody else? Lady in pink?
Kelly Eaker, 3264 Lake Cathy Road. I was actually here to speak on that rezoning request and hope to get the chance to. But in regards to this zoning request, I second everything that was previously said by the lady that was just standing here. I'd also like to say that one thing Mr. Hammondtree said was that agricultural is the outlier, and that's the problem. We live on acreage. We live on our farms. We watch our deer every night. We watch our foxes, everything that comes through. We do not have the infrastructure on these small roads to support this overdevelopment. There's already numerous townhouses and very cheaply built box-type structures that have been built down 201 and in every square inch that could be purchased and built on. Our schools are at capacity. I know because I manage the school buses for the city of Dalton. We cannot get school buses down the roads that we're creating here. It is not safe for our children. This area alone has multiple townhouses just across the street on 201. It is a dangerous area. Rauschenberg in that area is very curvy and low land. There is a creek right beside that railroad track. Where is that water all gonna go? Please, gentlemen, please consider the north end of the county or any of the county. We want to protect where we've lived all these years. We do not want these cheaply built, trashed in 5 years, 1,000, 1,200 square foot houses that are overpopulating our area and then left behind as trash, because then we'll have to clean it up in 30 years. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, we can take one more, if the lady in white.
I'm Margaret Haygood from 3635 Reed Road. I'd like to agree with both of these ladies, and I would like to agree because I actually live in one of these houses, and they're so cheaply built. The water, it's terrible. They're not building these to house families. They're building these to house 1 or 2 people, but not families. They say 3-bedroom. They said 1,200 square foot, but they're not. They're falling apart. I've been in. How long have we been there, Willie? And they're literally falling apart. So I come here for the Lake Cathy one, not this one, but I just wanted to agree with them.
All right.
Ma'am, may I
thanks.
ask you a question?
Yes, yes, you might.
Do you live in a house that they built?
I live in one that Brandon
Okay, but
Harrison built.
not the individual that is
No,
trying
but
to do this.
they're all the same type houses. They're the 1,200 square foot houses. They're just double wides. They're literally double wides. They live like double wides. The ones that are being all built down Reed Road, all of them down through there. All the ones that, I don't know about Lake Cathy. I don't know what size houses because I haven't heard. But I know all of them down Lake Cathy. I'm at Reed Road, the backside of Reed Road. I know every one of those they're just throw-up houses. And like I said, like she said, in 20 years, 30 years, that whole area is just gonna be terrible. Those houses aren't gonna hold up.
So you are just, it doesn't make any difference who is doing the development or where they're doing it, you just don't want any more development.
It's the type houses that they're putting in.
Well, those houses are inspected by the building inspector.
Are they? Yeah, okay.
They have to be,
That's my point.
well,
I mean, if they're not up to par, you're more than welcome to come over. I can show you numerous problems with these type houses that y'all are just putting in all the way around, all down Rosenberg, all down Reed Road, all down Lake Cathy. They're going up everywhere.
Thank
And
you,
they're
ma'am.
just not,
Thank you.
they're,
Yeah. Thank you. All right, Mr. Hammondtree, you get to rebut.
Yeah, I'll just say real quick, that I'm not building, trashily built structures. I've got a new company that I started 2 years ago. I've been in the industry, commercial and residential, for close to 20 years. My name is on the business. It's very important to me. And also, this is not all that I do. I do some custom residential construction, and I also do some commercial construction. So I'm not just out looking to develop and maximize the profit and build anything cheap. And I've not built anything that they're talking about. Thank you.
Thank you. That said, we're going to close the public portion on this request. Next one is to hear from Mitchell Hasty. Mr. Hasty, you here? Thank you. He's looking to rezone from GA to R5, a parcel of land, 6.8 acres, located at 3110 Old Tilton Road. This one is in the county. Ethan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Here we have a request similarly for a GA to R5. Again, obviously, the benefit in a case like this would be able to divide the subject property. As it currently stands, it's a little under 7 acres in size. The minimum lot size for a GA tract or general agriculture tract is 5 acres. So it's impossible to divide this tract as it is currently zoned. However, the property as it exists can have up to 2 single-family detached dwellings on a single tract of land in GA. And the subject property is certainly large enough to do that, provided the soil perks. Obviously, sewer is not available in this immediate area around the subject property, and density is very low, largely due to that topography and other environmental factors like the adjacent river and wetland areas. So based on the limited capability of development in this area and for the subject property, the proposed rezoning would essentially allow this property to be divided minimally and likely achieve roughly the same density that you could achieve in the GA zone district based on the fact that you can have 2 single-family detached dwellings, and we do regularly see that in GA. This would simply allow the property to be divided and owned separately. Based on the existing development, you can see very little development in this area. Again, you can see the river adjacent to the subject property. And here we can see it's in the rural agricultural reserve character area. Again, in this case, the existing size of the subject property and its ability to accommodate 2 single-family dwellings as is. Again, we don't see this area being threatened by the R5 zone district, given the limiting factors environmentally and the lack of sewer and things that would enable any kind of density-driven development in this area. So we don't see an issue for a precedent setting at this location based on those factors. So we believe this would satisfy the needs of the petitioner without setting any sort of precedent or changing the character of this area. Recommendation is to approve.
So the majority of the surrounding area is R5 in this particular case?
In this particular case, yes.
Because you could look at that and say how many houses you could get out of it on SA, but since the majority is surrounding R5, okay.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Ethan.
Thank you.
Mr. Hasty?
My name's Mitch Hasty, 502 Ridge Point Lane, Cahutta, Georgia.
Okay.
We do have city sewage there, but I'm not gonna develop the property. What it is, I built a house for my son, and I got more kids that might be able to eventually. And Gene told me that I couldn't do it under GA, so we're trying to go to R5. But far as being development for sale is not. It's just a case my other kids might wanna be able to eventually, is why we want to change it.
So you gonna subdivide it how many times?
Right now, we just got two. Actually, my son that built the house there might buy the other portion from me, but we're just doing this just in case. We got a driveway that actually goes in between the two proposed lots is all we got. But the city sewage, I could actually do more if I wanted to, but we'd have no intentions of doing that.
I can't believe there's sewer out there. Is there
Yeah, I
really
can't believe
sewer
that.
there?
Coming from Dow Chemical.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
We got city sewage, city
Hanging
water,
right by.
getting old up.
Okay, with no other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Go straight to the river. Anybody else that's like to speak in favor? Anybody who'd like to speak in opposition? Very well, we'll close the public portion on that request. The next one is to hear from Nelson Equity Investments, and this is to rezone from R2 to C2, 3.03 acres, located at 3966 Cleveland Highway. This one is in the county. Ethan?
Do we have, or Nelson
Oh,
here?
I'm sorry, yeah.
yeah, he's here.
Nelson, there you go. Okay, Ethan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Here we have a request from R2 to C2, so low-density, single-family residential to general commercial. Generally, that would be a very massive jump in zoning to go from low-density residential to general commercial, which is essentially what you might call highway commercial. A lot of, essentially all commercial uses would be permitted in C2. But probably all familiar with this area near adjacent to City of Arnell and their prime commercial district at the crossroads of Highway 2 and Cleveland Highway. So the subject property does have the road access adjacent to Cleveland Highway and would have the ability to have that direct access. And of course, this is a heavily commercially developed area with a lot of recent growth in commercial. And here we can see it's adjacent to the City of Arnell's corporate boundaries on two flanks. And here we have an example of the existing development in the area. So we did see R2 to the north, but the R2 to the north is church, I believe, north of the subject property. Everything west of the subject property is commercial, and there's been recent grading and development on some of those C2 zone districts closer to the intersection of Highway 2 along Cleveland Highway, so we expect to see additional commercial development of those lots. So essentially what we see here is predominant commercial development in this area, and in terms of commercial growth, it certainly makes more sense to do that, you know, contiguously along Cleveland Highway than to branch too far out into some of the neighborhood areas. Any new commercial development of this subject property would, of course, prompt buffers to be created along that southern and that eastern boundary of the property where it's adjacent to any existing residential development and zoning. So they would have to provide at least a 20-foot buffer along those boundaries. And nothing can be built in that buffer, no parking, no other amenities like that. It would have to essentially be maintained as a vegetative buffer, site impervious buffer. Based on that and the surrounding development, the character area of the future development map and the joint comprehensive plan has this well within the community activity center, and commercial development and high density development are the prime uses for this character area. And of course, this zoning would fit that character area perfectly. So the recommendation from the staff is to approve. Be happy to answer any questions.
Did you say that was or was not in the City of Arnell?
It is not in the City of Arnell. It's adjacent on two fronts.
Yeah, I knew it was close.
Right.
Do we know what they're putting there, Ethan?
I do not know. The petitioner may know that.
All right, thank you, Ethan.
Thank you.
Nelson Equity?
My name is Bradley Nelson. My wife and I reside at 1920 Beaverdale Road. You asked about the intended use. Intended use would be to do office in the existing structure and boat and RV parking on the rest of the property.
What is there now? I know it's next to Peavine Church. What's on that lot now?
A brick home.
Okay.
Yeah.
I go
Yeah.
by it every day.
Yeah.
Questions?
Any questions?
You gonna do any covered stuff, or is it gonna be outside?
Both.
Okay. All right, thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Anybody else like to speak in favor? Anybody would like to speak in opposition? Excellent. We will close the public portion on that request. Next one is THB Development Corp., seeking to rezone from GA to R5 for parcel 38.52 acres located along 3270 Lake Cathy Road. Ethan?
Here?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have another request from general agriculture, in this case to rural residential. Again, basic characteristics of rural residential is the potential for lots, single-family lots, to be as small as 7,500 square feet, so roughly 6 lots per acre. And when we look at the potential for the subject property, this would be a major subdivision development. Of course, at just under 40 acres, that creates potential for pretty significant density of the subject property. When we look at sewer availability, sewer, of course, is available in this area. Again, any extension from sewer would come at the expense of the developer. And largely, those type of expenses are why we tend to see the larger, higher density request for the cost of deploying infrastructure and building streets to the county standards. So the petitioner is requested to be able to develop the subject property to that higher density zone district of the R5. Around the subject property, we do see the R5 zone district predominantly to the east. And those lots along the eastern boundary, most of which are in excess of a half an acre each. Some of those are in excess of 1 acre each. So while they are within the R5 zone district, the established lot density is a little bit lower than what would be permitted in the R5 zone district if the subject property were to be developed. The surrounding use in this area, if you were to look at the development, we can see here along the Lake Cathy Road corridor north and south of the subject property, the lot sizes are notably larger than what is allowed in the R5 zone district. But we do see suburban scale development, both to the east, to the south, some to the north. And so we do see an established character for suburban and subdivision type development here. It is within the rural residential character area. That character area is intended to preserve a lower density of development. But single-family detached development is certainly permitted in the rural residential character area. And we do see the R5 zone district commonly in the rural residential character area. We see the suburban neighborhood zone district over to the east. And of course, being adjacent to the subject property, that suburban neighborhood character area is intended to protect the integrity of the existing suburban neighborhoods and allow uses and infill development that's reflective of whatever that established character is of that development. And again, just mentioning the lot size difference in what might be proposed on the subject property versus what we see surrounding the subject property as it is. With all that in consideration, the staff recommendation in this case is similar to the previous, and that is to consider, rather than an R5, to consider an R2 zone district to allow for development potential, but that would be done with lots at 15,000 square foot minimums versus 7,500. And again, that would maintain a single-family detached character. And there's a couple of factors in the staff analysis to support that. In other words, it would better reflect the character of the area while giving greater flexibility than the general agriculture zoning that the subject property currently has. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
So about how many lots would that allow them to have?
That is difficult to calculate based on the site characteristics. I don't believe in the application we had a specific site plan or any particular number of what they were aiming for. And calculating streets and stormwater is difficult to determine what the maximum potential density could be.
Would it
They
be-
may be able to give a little bit more insight into work they've done since that point.
But if you went to an R2 versus an R4, probably, excuse me, R5, if you went to an R2 rather than an R5, thank you, you would potentially have a less dense area.
Half.
So significantly reduce.
Half.
Yeah,
Half.
half. So, you know, you're looking at,
And you take out, you know, even though that's not their plan to build duplexes and put mobile homes there, it would
It limits
prohibit
it.
that.
it prohibits that. So it limits their ability to go in and do the duplex or manufactured housing.
No, that's not their intent.
Yeah, I know that's not the intent. Okay. I was just looking at the density.
Yeah.
If you're living on that road and suddenly it's an R2 rather than an R5, that might have a difference for you. Okay.
All right, thank you, Ethan.
Thank you.
THB?
Hello, my name is Dell Hamilton, address 8095 Angie Drive. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and yeah, our goal was to build a small, single-family development. And we essentially, you know, y'all just asked a question regarding lot count. And as we were looking at R5, there was the availability of 103 lots, I think it was. As we look at R2, we're somewhere in the, reasonably speaking, something that we feel comfortable with to try to keep the road in the neighborhood as short as possible. Obviously, the costs are pretty expensive when it comes to that. You're in a 45 range, I would say, to get the lot count, somewhere in there. So that's our intent. That's what we were trying to accomplish here. And so, you know, we respect, obviously, opinions and concerns that people may have. And so I can see where, you know, going straight to R5 would be challenging. So I completely understand that. And we're open, clearly, to trying to do an R2 or just something that works within the community that's fair for everybody, so.
Dale, what would you build if the request was approved and you did R5? What would you build as far as square footage? And then if it in turn was R2 as opposed to R5, would that change or would it be a different product?
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be a different product. I will say that if we're going R2, we're somewhere in the 2,000 square foot range, I would say. R5 is probably gonna be in the 1,600 to 1,800 square foot range.
So R5, you've got, what'd you say, 103?
103, correct.
103 at 1,600 square feet versus 45 at a 2,200 square feet. Kind of be the.
Yeah. And, you know, when I played the numbers out, we could definitely get 60-some lots, I think it was. But because of the tough topography, it just didn't make sense financially to try to expand and get those extra in the R2.
So how are you planning on running the, you're gonna have to run a road in there in order to get this done?
Yeah, it would be a combination of a road as well as some lots on Lake Cathy. I actually have a layout if you guys would like to
That'd be
Yeah, that'd be
see that.
great.
Yep.
Is that layout for both R2 and R5 or just R5? Just R2. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. You can share if we have to.
I'll tell you what, I'll share, it. Those guys are gonna want one, yeah. There it is. I guess there it is, okay. Road. So you got a storm drainage area?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, we would obviously be building this to, you know, the county specs when it comes to, you know, neighborhood and stormwater and all of that have to be according to y'all's codes.
I apologize. I know I've asked this question a couple times tonight with others. Will these be homes that you will build? Your
Yes.
company will build? It's not
Yes,
a,
yep. Yeah, I'm local to the Chattanooga area. You know, I went to college here. or in Chattanooga, and so this is what I do day in and day out, and this is home for me. So I'll be building all these houses, and you know, I care about quality, and I am happy to stand by every house that I build.
Thank you.
I think they're still studying over there.
Y'all got any questions?
Questions?
So if you did the R2, wouldn't be vinyl siding, it'd be.
It would be
Mason.
probably a combination of some vinyl and some hardy.
Can you live with the R2?
I can live with it. Mm-hmm.
Questions? Anything else? Good. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you all.
Anybody else who'd like to speak in favor? Okay. Who would like to speak in opposition? Oh, I saw that hand there, that gentleman. First.
My name is James Bennett.
Wait till you get to the microphone, please.
My name is James Bennett, and I own 307 and 3285, the property right in front of that. And
On,
right in front of what he's wanting to do, right there. I live on the opposite side of the road,
okay.
On Lake
right
Captain?
in front of it.
On Lake
And we've also already got a problem. There's so much water comes off that hill. It floods everything. Sometimes the road's underwater, and it floods in front of my house, the blue one and the other one. It floods both yards. There's so much water. There's a big spring on top of that hill somewhere. If it rains for several days, it looks like a big creek coming off that hill where they're trying to put that subdivision. And it's already flooding everything. I'm at a lower point, and there's a lot of wildlife in there and everything. And since they put it in on Oscar Nance over there, I've done had to call the sheriff several times. They're throwing out refrigerators, stoves, TVs, dryers on my property, and everything else. And it's really beginning to be a hassle. Just people, there's too many. There's too low in there. That's so much higher on that side of the road than on the other side. And now that water coming off that ridge up there is going to create a big problem. There's a big spring up there somewhere. The road overflows, the ditches won't even take it. It's already running all over my property and making a mess. And that's going to just get worse. It's going to wash it's going to wash their yards away.
Yes, sir. Thank you. That's his sign off. All right. Anybody else? Who's quickest? Big gentleman in the back. Me next. Yeah. His hand goes up quickly. You can whisper in his ear, but just one at a time, though.
All right. My name is Clarence Haygood. We own the 3635 Reed Road. It is connecting that property. Let me ask, what's the difference between city and county? And where is that line drawn? Because once y'all develop all this, it's bad enough we already have a Dollar General every 2 miles, all right? And then all this comes in, you're no longer in the country or county or anything. And I sit every day at the end of Lake Cathy to 201 for 30 to 40 minutes waiting to get out, to go to work. I've seen numerous accidents over and over there. Those roads are not made for it. Like he said, the water comes down through there when it rains heavy. It's bad. A lot of wildlife. I mean, it's just, and if you do this, it's going to cause more traffic to go down Oscar Nance. That is a rabbit trail. You're looking at accident after accident. I see it every day.
Reed Road, big circle.
You got to think about the school bus traffic in the mornings. I mean, I sit behind them coming home, waiting. You're going to have more people flying up and down that road, so.
Along Reed Road. If you've noticed, if you'll pull up that map again on it, that hill that goes right up, because we live right here and it's got that hill and it goes right there. You've got a space from about right there to about, I'd say, I'll give it to the end right there. That a bus comes out right there, come up over that hill, they're not gonna see them, they're gonna slap them right in the middle of those buses right there that come down that side road right there. Not only that, but the water, like I said earlier with the water, we've had our septic tank done 3 times, and we're looking at almost having to have it done again. It's not, the water, it's just not absorbing it. Even though it might be city sewage on that right there, like he said, it's still, all that water's coming down. It's gonna hit people that have septic tanks. It's not always gonna be y'all sewage lines. So, I mean,
Right.
you need to keep that in mind too.
Yes, okay.
You asked a question of what was the difference between the city and the county.
Mhm.
There used to be a separate zoning restrictions for the city and the county.
Right.
Years ago, somebody got the brilliant idea of having unified zoning. So that applies for city and county equally at this point.
So the whole thing's city and county
Yep.
around there, or is
As
it
far as the zoning is concerned.
just-
zoning.
Okay.
So,
But that would
It's
be
just coming more
unincorporated,
city.
that's in unincorporated Whitfield County. However, Varnell's tentacles reach all over. I mean, that's not a, it's not a city. They've got, and there's been annexations in different places, but that's in the county. That's not in the city, but
It's still the point that everybody's gonna be using that big circle.
yes.
You're gonna be going down Reed Road. you're gonna
Yeah,
be
I'm
going down
sure y'all seen the giant developments they're putting by the schools. It's probably, in my mind, it's gonna be something similar to that with how many? 100-something lots over there, is that what he said?
R5 would be 103, and if it was R2, it would be 45.
All right, so,
Still the same type houses, basically.
No, different.
No, they would
Or
be
kinda, well, excuse me, I,
standalone 2,200 square feet.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, different.
all right, so,
Thank you.
thank you. I think I caught this man next.
General, my name is Donald Marsh. I live on Lake Cathy Road, 3391. I raised a family there. I think this fall will be about 40 years. I've watched a lot of development, but nothing like I've seen in the last 15 years. The subdivision that's in question right now is going to create some stormwater problems that's going to be bounced from builders to county. And in my lifetime, it probably won't be solved from the way I've seen, because I have stormwater right now that goes across Lake Cathy. We've talked about it, and I've worked with county. Mr. Thomas has come out and looked at it. We've put drainage in there. I've worked with FSA, and we have come up with a problem, partial solution to the problem. What Mr. Bennett was talking about is water washing down from, I call it old Jack Bevel's farm. That's what it was, the 38 acres. I knew Jack and most of the people in the neighborhood. But what's happening now? 4 things concern me. There was a time when that fella sitting right there rode horses up and down Lake Cathy. You dare not do that anymore. You'll get killed. I farm there still. There's still some room for farmers. You guys like to eat, don't you? Okay? We still raise beef. Beef masters. We were good friends with Vernon Turner and his family. Where are some of the larger farms now? Builders, I'm not against you. We got to live somewhere. But let me tell you something. You won't be thinking about living if you can't eat. So obviously I'm here for the farmers. Stormwater, water in itself, sewers, and traffic. I think we're kind of getting the cart in front of the horse. You might not remember when Catoosa County had to bring water over into my neighbors down around Lake Cathy because too many septics were causing problems. So come on, folks, let's take a look. Infrastructure is the word here. You have to be prepared. You're not prepared. Not yet. Water, sewers, stormwater, traffic. Those 4 items go against what's trying to be done. So yes, as a farmer, am I concerned? Yep. I'm the one that you get mad and probably say a few choice words to, because I'm hauling that hay up and down the road. I'm still baling hay. I'm the one that better be careful making a left off of Lake Cathy into my driveway, because somebody might be calling 911 to get somebody out from up under my hay trailer. Folks, let's don't put the cart in front of the horse. Thank you, Jim.
All right, thank you. I think, man, you've already been up here. Have you got anything different? He summed it up very well as far as your objections. Can you add anything to that?
Yes, I live next door.
Can you add anything to what he said? All right, come on up. We'll take this one last one.
Kelly Eaker, 3270 Lake Cathy Road. If you'll pull up the drawing with their property, unfortunately, and then mine right beside it. No, the next. That one. No, that one. My land is the property in white. So it touches.
To the south?
Yes, to the south, the strip in white. I purchased that land from Jack and Annette Bevel's brother Harold over 30 years ago. I've raised 2 children there and am now raising my grandchildren there. I love Jack and Annette tremendously, and I am going to cry because this is my 4 minutes that I have to save my way of life. These developers are coming in on us. I don't want to walk outside with my coffee and look at trash. I don't want to walk outside and see my deer have been killed. They will experience major water problems. The water does run off of the hill. I'm on top of it. And every time it rains, the underwater springs pop up out of my driveway and run down into Lake Cathy Road. And I can assure you that that underground water goes completely down that side of the road. And when it does rain tremendously or ices over, then that is going to go into Lake Cathy Road and flood it like it always does. I don't want this beside me. My neighbors do not want this beside them. We don't want it. That curve right there is dangerous. Unfortunately, our teenagers and young people think that they have to gun it. If they put a driveway in that curve, somebody's going to die. We already have an unwanted Dollar General store at the corner of Lake Cathy Road and 201, exactly where an engineer thought about 25 years ago it would be a good thing to take a 2-lane down to a 1-lane at an intersection. We have people die there. The dollar store was not allowed to put their entrance and exit on 201. It is unfortunately on Lake Cathy Road, right before the red light. When you have our children trying to get to the high school, just, a half a mile away, they're trying to turn left. They're trying to merge from 2 lanes to 1 lane, and they're trying to dodge the people coming in and out of the dollar store. We have wrecks. We have fatalities. I have a friend with a traumatic brain injury from a wreck there.
He never worked again. I have a family of 7 deer that sleep in my pasture. I don't want them killed. I do not want that water running over onto my land. I do not want the trash. I do not want these small homes. I investigated this developer. He doesn't build these small homes, he builds large houses. 5 houses, 10 houses. The small community he stated on the phone to me that he was building, maybe, not feeding into Lake Cathy Road. But over 100 houses, even at 40, that road cannot sustain that traffic. We have no red lights. We have nothing. Please, I beg you, let me keep my way of life. Please. Thank you, sirs.
Thank you, ma'am. I think she pretty much summed it up. What?
What about a show of hands of how many people are here to oppose this development?
All right, let's see, show of hands. And put your hands down, who's in favor? Okay, just need to give you the opportunity. I don't think anybody can add any more than that lady just did.
I think they can,
Well, we can keep going around and around, but,
There are eagles in that area.
okay, say natural habitat. Okay. All right, well, I think we're gonna,
Spotted within the last month.
okay, so natural habitat. I think we're gonna close the public portion on this.
Can I say
Do we
something?
have rebuttal? Does he?
What?
I know within the last 3 months, a lot of us have seen each other, familiar faces over the last 3 months. Whether it's the same developer, a new developer, it's always gonna be another developer with money.
Yes.
Come in and mess up our area.
Well, we have to look at these as one.
I get it, and they're
Okay.
gonna try to shoot high just to come back and say, okay, we
All
can
right.
do this.
All right,
Sir,
thank you,
yeah.
sir, thank you.
Rebuttal? Does he get to speak again?
Yeah, he does.
Just a couple things I wanted to address. Obviously, stormwater, we're going to be hiring an engineer that's going to be, and, I've been working with an engineer for years, and obviously, we don't want that to be a problem. And so we're going to go through all the rules that the county requires us to go through. And the second thing, the quality of our homes, I'm not building just, double wide houses to stick in here. Our goal is to build nice 2,000 square foot-ish quality homes that will hopefully add value to the area. And so just wanted to say that.
And also this retention pond?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Is that a question about?
No, I mean, on,
Yeah, I mean,
Plat.
we'll be going through the engineering process and we'll be having retention ponds as we need to with the engineering.
You might actually
all right,
help.
let's keep
Yeah.
it down,
Well,
please.
I mean, our goal is to reduce the stormwater problem that's there now. Yeah.
All right, thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to close the public portion on that and move on to the next one, which is an amendment to the Unified Zoning Ordinance. Ethan, I'll just let you explain it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Here we have a text amendment, and we've got a kind of a two-part text amendment. So I'll walk through first the first part, and there may be some representatives here to talk about the other second portion of this request to change the unified zoning ordinance or amend the unified zoning ordinance to address a few things. One of those I just want to make point of, you all have your hard copies, I believe, of the proposed text amendment. And one of the key things to point out here is creating definitions that essentially separate things like biohazard waste versus biological waste. Of course, these things would seem like they would be similar, but having specific definitions, we do see a need for that based on some other developments and proposals around the region. So to be proactive, these are being proposed by staff in order to make a few of these definitions more specific and separate what is biohazard waste from biological waste. As part of that also is to create definitions for data centers that we don't currently have. And of course, you can see that description, and that would include all data center related developments from AI, e-commerce, cloud storage, crypto mining, et cetera. Also is a definition for hazardous waste, again, separating out those different kinds of waste because there's a very big difference in each of those three types of waste. We also have here limiting those biological, biohazard, and hazardous waste facilities in the light and heavy industrial zone districts, M1 and M2. Also would be to adding to the permitted use table a line for data centers. These data centers would only be allowed in this proposed ordinance in the heavy manufacturing zone district. And that essentially is a summary of those amendments to address those different uses, data centers and the different types of waste. I'll be happy to answer any questions in regard to those text amendments.
So if someone came into town and wanted to put in a data center, they would have to communicate that they're going to do so and go to an M2.
That's correct.
And
And a special use. Yes, sir, that's right.
Okay.
So this is approved by the Whitfield County, the City of Dalton, City of Warnell.
This would go before each jurisdiction, that's correct.
Deaton?
And those cities have approved this.
They will.
Or they will.
They haven't approved it, we have to hold the public hearing first, and then it'll go to the cities and the county.
All right, I don't think we have any questions on that. The next portion you got on the screen? No,
Next-
That's unrelated to this, right?
The next portion, well, it's a unified zoning ordinance text amendment that would
Text
apply
amendment, okay.
to the UPUD zone district specifically. The county would be voting on this as well, so this is both a all jurisdiction amendment. And simply put, what the proposal here is to amend the UPUD, or Urban Planned Unit Development Zone District, which was created still fairly recently in the last few. It's the newest zone district in the Unified Zoning Ordinance, and allows for creative infill development projects, specifically that of residential. And the proposal there is to create some additional site design opportunities as part of that. And ultimately, this green space courtyard option, which we can see an illustration of on the screen, this amendment would allow for the division and development of urban planned unit development that would be similar to what we see on the screen and require that green space, that central courtyard.
So this does require that green space.
This
As I'm
creates
reading,
a-
it says that may be arranged around, the word may always throws me. You know, but it is a requirement that they have that green space.
We've got some experts here that
I'm not
are
an attorney,
proposing this.
so, but, you know, is this requiring a green space, Robert, the way this is written?
It is.
Okay. They're number one? Okay.
Okay. Other questions? Any other discussion? Ethan, do you have any more comments?
No, you can see there, it's essentially just goes through all the descriptions of all the, characteristics, what they are aiming to accomplish here. And of course, within the UPUD, there are a number of architectural standards and different things that allow for creative density, but strict design guidelines, so that what we see is a quality product, landscaping, green space, and architectural features that complement the area. Staff recommendation, of course, is to approve. Happy to answer any additional questions.
None. Thank you.
Thank you.
Open it up to Chris. All right, at this point, the commissioners are going to be departing because the remaining item on tonight's agenda is within the city of Dalton. The last one is from Viviana Ramirez. Are you here? Yes, sir. Okay. Seeking to rezone from C2 to R3, a tract of land, .33 acres at 409 South Spencer Street. This one is in the city of Dalton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Request from general commercial to medium-density residential. Again, big shift in potential development here. This would restrict the property from any commercial development or use and allow only single-family detached use of the property. It's based on our understanding that the petitioner's proposal is to convert the existing commercial structure on the property to a single-family residence. It's a little over 3,000 square feet, I think, the existing building there. And of course, this is in an area that's currently what we could consider in transition. There's a lot of mixed development here. That mixed development, residential, manufacturing, commercial, is largely based on the former zoning ordinance in the city of Dalton. It was referred to as a pyramid-style ordinance, which meant if you had a commercial or manufacturing zone district, you could essentially develop anything within those zone districts, single-family, multifamily, and of course, any kind of industry or commercial use. So we see a lot of diversity around this area, and of course, East Morris Street corridor is currently in a redevelopment phase of having streetscape and downtown expansion. And in looking at this, at first glance, it looks like an entirely commercial district, but there's a number of existing single-family lots around the subject property. And so this would not be out of place with this character of being an infill or redevelopment opportunity to increase single-family housing in walkable distance to downtown. Here we can see the existing development, again, mostly commercial and some industry in the area. And then, of course, you can see the rooftops of some of the single-family homes around the subject property. Here's a close look again for a decent-sized existing structure, a lot of room for parking and side yard there, and potential future redevelopment of those areas of the property as well. Here we have it within the industrial character area of the Joint Comprehensive Plan, but we're right in this area of convergence between what is planned to be the downtown, future growth of downtown, as to where it abuts the industrial development. And if we look in this area, there's not a lot of existing industry. It's mostly office space or older commercial, smaller scale development and residential. So in terms of existing land use and future development, this is just in that difficult area to draw that line. So based on the fact that it's in this convergence, we believe that it wouldn't put any burden on any of the adjacent properties if the subject property is rezoned residential. Wouldn't set any sort of precedent with any negative impacts. Based on all that, the recommendation from staff is to approve.
Could you build another structure on there? With the R3 zone, could you put another structure over here? The other map on this one.
That,
You got that room up above it to the north. I'm just wondering,
it would be, I'd have to measure the width to ensure they'd have enough road frontage for that. If it's possible, one additional lot would be the maximum.
would be it. Okay, thank you.
Other questions? All right, thank you, Ethan.
Thank you.
Ms. Ramirez?
Good evening, and I make sure I wrote everything, don't leave anything behind. My name is Viviana Ramirez, 913 Clark Street, Dalton, Georgia. And thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm here today to respectfully request approval to rezone this property from C1 to R3. We are a local business owner and visitors here in Dalton. Over the past few years, about 9 years now, me and my husband have invested in several businesses and buildings through the city, including East Morris Street here in Dalton, now called Block 79. That area used to be neglected, abandoned, and through consistent work and investment, we helped it improve and bring it back to life. We believe this property has the same potential. Our goal is to make this property better for the community, improve the appearance of the area, and support Dalton's growth. We're committed to being responsible, as we have shown this past years. We will keep the property, maintain, manage property, and follow the city requirements. Approving this rezoning will allow us to move forward with improvements and create a positive impact in the area. We're proud to invest in Dalton long-term, and we want to continue doing that with this project. We actually have invested, we hire a architect, a local architect, to show you guys what this beautiful home we want to create. And this home, it's going to be for us. Again, we invested, I don't know if you could put the other map where you could see on East Morris, about 12 buildings that were abandoned. And we're not builders, that's not what, we do. But we live here in Dalton, this is our home, and we believe on investing on where we live and bring Dalton back to life. And we have the plans, if you guys want to see.
Did you say you live there?
No, we want it for our home, for us.
Oh, you want it for your,
Yes.
Okay, it won't be a rental property where you
No.
to live in, okay?
and this is the structure that's already there?
Yes. Well, that's the plans that we want to do now.
But I mean,
Right.
The
Right.
building is there. Okay. Speak.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Good.
So even before knowing if this was going to be approved or not, we already invested on architect to show you guys that we're serious, and we have been serious from day one.
And the discussion about the remaining piece of the property, would you build on that?
We have no plans to do that.
With that being the case, Ethan, could this be an R2 instead of an R3? Because the lot's got to be big enough, I would think, isn't it, to be an R2? I mean, there's a limitation based on the size of the lot, but I just was curious. I guess it doesn't matter. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right, any other questions? All right, thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you.
You want to take this? It's a lot of money in it.
You paid for it.
All righty. Anybody else would like to speak in favor? Anybody like to speak in opposition? Okay, the guy in the back, he started it. Favor. Oh, in favor, okay. And the other person to raise their hand? Yeah, somewhere in the middle, I thought I saw one. Favor? Oh, in opposition? And you want to speak? Okay.
First is in favor, though, right?
Yeah, well, he's already, oh, do you want to speak? Okay, well, come on up. I thought you were just saying, yeah.
Oh, he's in favor of your explain
Yeah.
why.
You want to add something?
Yes, I'm Wayne Burgess, and I own multiple properties right next door. I own the 3 commercial properties and 4 residential. It impacts me more than anyone. And what they've been doing to the neighborhood is a huge improvement. They did everything on Glenwood. And we also, this property here has been a real eyesore for a very long time. It didn't really make a lot of sense to a lot of people to do anything with it. But what they're planning on doing is going to be absolutely wonderful, and I hope y'all allow them to do that. We need that there.
Okay,
So
thank you.
okay.
All right. In opposition? Yes. Okay, step on up. Have you filled out the paperwork? Okay. Your name and address, please?
Jose Alfredo Gallegos, and the address is 304 East Morris Street. Good afternoon. My name is Jose Alfredo Gallegos. I am a senior at the Dalton High School, and I'm speaking on behalf of my parents, who own the commercial and event and party venue adjacent to and connected to 409 South Spencer Street. Our venue is called El Centenario, located at 304 East Morris Street, and our entrance is located at South Spencer Street. Our business was one of the first commercial businesses established in this area and has operated lawfully at this location years before this rezoning request was submitted and has helped this community grow. We operate as an event and party venue rented by the public, where clients frequently host large nighttime events and often bring their own DJs or live bands. We also have separate legally deeded parking located directly behind our building that our customers use. Rezoning the neighborhood property from commercial to residential would create a clear and ongoing land use incompatibility. This is not a situation where a business is moving into a residential area, but the complete opposite. It is residential use being introduced next to an established commercial operation. This change creates predictable and long-term conflicts. Because our venue is rented by the public, the nature of these events varies and often includes music, large crowds, evening traffic, nighttime activity. These type of lawful, client-driven activity is inherent to the operation of an event venue and cannot be eliminated. If residential housing is introduced next to this type of established use, future or current residents may reasonably expect a quiet residential environment that simply does not exist here at this location. That mismatch frequently results in noise complaints, traffic concerns, pressure on existing businesses, even when those businesses are operating fully within law. These conflicts would not only affect our venue, but the surrounding commercial businesses and would change the very character and stability of this commercial area over time. This rezoning simply does not make any sense. Keep it commercial to grow. For these reasons, I respectfully ask that this rezoning be denied. We are fully opposed to this rezoning because it does not align with existing commercial zoning and will create long-term conflicts. I respectfully suggest that the applicant consider an alternative project that aligns with the commercial character of the area and does not negatively impact the surrounding businesses. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Can you
Question.
tell me, yeah.
Can you point out where,
Yeah, where
event
is your
space.
piece of property on here, please?
Let me see.
To the-
Where the red is at, do you see how there's two parking spaces in front?
to the north or top?
Yeah, right in front. It's connected.
So you're saying these two?
Yes. No, just that one. To the right. That one. Yes, sir.
That's your parking?
Yes.
How do you access it?
It's right beside, like, there's two entrances. One is to,
Just above the red property line?
no, yeah, right at where the red is at, right there at the road.
Okay, so along that.
Right there, yes.
Right
Yes,
there.
sir.
Okay. I don't have a question. I just want to say that was extremely well written
Yes.
and extremely well articulated.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to send a rebuttal. Yes, ma'am.
Little chat GPT.
Get extra credit.
I totally understand their concern being a venue that they do not have any parking. At this actual moment, they're using my property for parking. And I could show you, I don't know if you could zoom it a little bit bigger. And the reason why I know, before even talking about building, we make sure we spoke with the city. We called Frameworks and we called Andrew Parker about everything that we're trying to do. If you look on the entryway, it's in my side, not their side. They do not have any parking, any access whatsoever. So I understand the concern. We know them for a while. Music is not a problem for us, so it's not like you're gonna have different families and complain about the music. I haven't heard any people like on the side or this side complain about the music. So I don't know if they knew that the house was gonna be for us or they thought it was gonna be like a different multi-family residential. But again, it's a business, it's a venue. They have over 200 people. There's no parking for 200 people on their venue.
So
How are they
there's no parking on
operated?
this side.
Yes, definitely. How are they operated? I don't understand. That's something maybe we have to talk to the city about.
So let me ask you a quick question, make sure I've got it. So This is all yours,
Yes,
and this is parking.
all of that is parking.
What you're saying is, and this is theirs.
That's theirs, and that's no parking. That's just for them to like unload stuff. So how do you park 150, 200 people in my parking?
Okay,
So I understand their concern.
I don't know how that works.
So you've been allowing them to park
Yeah, with not a problem.
in the future?
No,
Right.
no. That's why I say I understand their concern.
Yes.
Yeah,
They're about to lose their parking.
right. How are they operated? I mean, because for us to be able to open the restaurant, the coffee shop, you have to have a certain amount of parking. Venue for 150 people, 200 sometimes, 3 parking lots not going to do it.
Okay.
So,
All right.
thank you.
Very good,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Will I,
Can he rebut the rebuttal?
yeah, one time, you've got something very quick to say?
Yes.
Yeah.
We do own another.
Can you come up and speak
Come
into the
up and
mic,
speak.
please?
Hello.
So-
Our venue is for 90 people, and we do have the permit as well. And we have another building that is beside the 304, it's Morris Street. That one is a store, and we do have parking on that side too. But we also, they also have public parking in front and on the other side to your left that we use as well, like they do, okay? Their house is in the back of our building and is to the parking, part of the parking that we use to unload and load all the live music, the DJs and everything else. So, but.
As
That's-
well as parking.
As well as parking, yes.
Limited parking.
And we do have the maps.
Would you like to
And
see-
we have the paperwork, so if you would like to look at it,
Let's give it to us, but
yes.
you understand that with this change, you lose the parking on her property.
If she decides not to let
If
them
she
continue
decides, it
parking there.
sounded like,
Sounded like that was the case.
or
They can
I mean,
do it
they
now.
can
It
do
doesn't
it
matter
now.
about the re- That
They're
sounds to me
allowing
like
you to
they've been
park there.
accommodating your parking on their property, but if they, hang on, but if they live there, they're not gonna allow, but I know, but they own it. They could tell you right now not to park on it.
Building here,
We do not.
where is your building?
Right there.
I mean, in theory, they could put a fence up right now and limit who can park there
That's where we go
if they own the
in
property.
For both their side and our side.
Okay.
But we need to
On the
come
red
in
line.
somehow, right? There needs to be a valid
Your
entrance. to come
parking
in.
is this amount here?
No.
Doesn't
it's
have to
all
be.
the way
That's-
the door, all the way to the
Yeah,
back.
if an easement was properly
Even
recorded.
an easement.
Where is the building located here?
In the
You don't have
front
an
of the,
easement, yes, so-
of the East Morris Street?
I know it is. That,
Yes, it's all the way to that
Okay.
white spot,
All right.
all the way to the end.
this is the building.
It's,
But-
the building is not there. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's a legal issue.
So is there a driveway? Where's the driveway? On that red line?
Red line. Yeah, that's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to figure out.
Remember you have been there before?
See this.
I'd go with
Tax, this is taxes. Here, let me give you this back. That's tax information.
Okay.
So is there a recorded easement that allows you to go through their property?
An easement
No,
means
they don't.
they've allowed you legally to do that.
Well, since it's for our building, another owner, and they just purchased that building.
Okay.
They just purchased, we've been
Okay.
there for
Oh,
years.
sorry, let me have that back.
They just
but-
purchased that building,
they-
but we've been there for years.
Okay, but they own the property now, right?
The same, spot that we are. I mean, it's the same line. It's, this is this is the driveway.
Yeah.
This is their building. This is ours, right here.
But-
This is the end.
But to park on that, her property.
Okay, their part is fine with them.
It's fine over there.
All right,
It's fine. We're not gonna use their parking spot. We don't care about that.
okay.
We only care about ours.
Yeah, you'll need to work out an easement
Being
with
able
that.
to enter, because we have a space right there in front of that other building. There's an opening that we
Yeah.
go into the.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but we're not gonna
All right.
use their.
All right.
It's fine. We don't need it.
I understand it. Okay,
For 90 people, we got plenty.
okay. All right. All right, good. Thank you. All right. I think,
I'd like to ask her something.
one question for the lady.
Yeah,
Ms.
can-
Ramirez?
Yes. Can I ask you a question?
Sorry, I know it's late, you guys.
That's okay. So I want to make sure I understand what they were saying.
Yeah.
See if you are in concurrence, and just make sure we're talking the same verbiage. So the red line at the north above the word site, okay, the entrance into the back of their building, right now, is it coming through your property?
Yes.
Do they have a recorded easement that allows them
No.
to enter that way?
No.
And it doesn't matter who owned it before or who
Right.
owns it now or who owns it.
That is correct.
Without a recorded easement, they're landlocked from coming in from that direction.
That is correct.
Whether this is rezoned or not.
Right.
You could right now put up a barrier.
Yes, sir.
and they'd just be out of line.
Yes, sir. That is correct.
That is not an issue for us.
That's not a zoning issue.
Correct.
It's not,
Right.
That is
Yeah.
a
Right.
reality issue.
Okay.
And if the argument is the noise, they're concentrated in the parking, obviously you know why, so.
okay, thank you.
Thank
I do want to add something. Carlos Ramirez, my wife, we did talk to the city. Actually, when we bought the property the idea was to build 4 apartments, and the recommendation was that the parking lot is not enough for apartments. So we've been kind of talking about it. The more that we talked about it, the more that we liked the building, and we thought it was going to be a good idea, because there's not a lot of parking to build anything else in there, in that place. So to make it, actually, we thought about doing the house and leaving the parking lot as a commercial. But the city explained to us that if anything that happens on that parking lot, then that's going to be liability for us. So the city recommended if we do build anything in there, that parking lot needs to be closed out. That's a recommendation from the city. And Andrew Parker and who was there?
The city farm, works, I forget.
That's okay.
That's
We-
okay.
we
We
know
got
they
it.
are.
Yeah.
And I do want to add one more thing. There, across the street, there's 2 houses already, right across the street from the building. And again, we're a small business. We don't want to hurt anybody. It's, and we can sit down and talk about it, because we had conversations about making Eastmore is a better location for everybody. I think we proved it over the nine years. There's 5, 6 new businesses in that area, and I'm glad to see the area back to life. Because if you remember 8 years ago, there's not a lot of traffic in there. And now, if you go by, the coffee shop is busy, the restaurant is busy. So yeah, we're growing. It's part of it. So let's try to figure out something where it works for everybody.
Okay,
Thank
very
you.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we'll close public portion of that, and public portion of this meeting. We will go into closed meeting and discuss each one of these issues. Okay, first one is Bonner Properties on Waring Road. That's the, this guy right here. Any comments? I mean, they're gonna be putting couple roads in there and improving that property.
It's going from R5 to R4.
I think it's
I'd
gonna be
recommend,
improving
yeah.
the area.
I think we're
Yeah, I
improving
think it's
the area.
improving. I make a motion, we approve this.
I will second that.
That's Steve and Brad. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it unanimously. Bonner property is approved as R4. Wayne Burgess,
Move we approve.
Chris makes a motion to approve.
Second?
Steve seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Melody Hammondtree, this one on Rauschenberg Road. That is the one that's, well, 15 down to 10 or 12, going from R3 maybe to R2. Has to across the tracks to get out to Highway 201.
I agree with the denial, the recommendation that Ethan, this is the discussion section with the recommendation Ethan made to deny it at R3. That's heavy, but, you know, do you go to R,
With the recommendation for R2,
yeah, do you go to R2?
better address it.
You know, I think the R2 would be a better suggestion to me. What do you think? Yeah?
Well, yes, I'm torn on this one. Yes, but there's a couple things. And just gross numbers of residences, you know, you're talking 11 versus 14. So it's really,
Not that impactful.
it's negligible from a gross number standpoint. I think the end product might be nicer if it's allowed to go R3, just to make the math work for the developer. You know, I think the facade and the actual home will end up being a nicer product. You do eliminate those flag lots that you're gonna have if you go R2, because there were gonna be 3 or 4, if I remember that plat. And the petitioner lives directly across the street and has so for years and years and years. So, I mean, there's a little bit, it's a little different than somebody coming into the community from, you know, someplace else. And, you know, I mean, you know, these folks have been around forever and they live right across the street, and we're talking about the difference of 3 houses. But I hear everything that you say. I'm kind of on both sides of the fence with it, but what do y'all think?
I'm in the same boat with you, Chris. I mean, we've had the conversations before about how the community appears to not want more of the R5 zoning, the smaller homes, that kind of stuff. And then, you know, we would prefer to see more R2, slightly larger homes, slightly larger lots. So I'm in the same boat with you, Chris. I'm torn, but again, like you said, ultimately, at the end of the day, we're talking about 3.
You're not talking about
Three
going
houses.
from 100 to 30. You're talking about 14 to 11. And eliminating flag lots and having, you know, a little bit nicer homes. I mean, to me, it's not very much difference in the two, but that's just my.
Eric? You in this conversation?
I am.
What do you
I
think,
make
Rick?
I make a motion that
They live
deny.
right across from it, and it's the, if it goes with the
sorry.
R3, it's gonna be nicer homes.
Just keep it, reduce it to R2?
Then I would go with the R3.
R3.
To allow 14 instead of 11.
Have to have the flag lots.
All right.
You're gonna have smaller homes.
I agree to deny the R3 and go, and if there is okay with
Suggest
them.
R2?
Suggest the R2.
Okay, so
Okay,
we've got,
Jim, so now it's you, it's 2 and 2. No, it's 2 and 3, or, I don't know, where'd Brad come out?
Well, we hadn't voted yet. We're just talking.
somebody's got.
Do we have a motion?
Do we have
I
a
make a motion
make it,
to deny R3.
suggest
it-
R2.
Suggest the R2.
So to go with the staff recommendation.
Any further?
Yeah.
Yeah, second. Oh,
Steve seconds?
yeah. Discussion?
I think we've had discussion. No? Any further discussion or a vote on the motion?
Vote it.
The motion is to deny R3 and to suggest R2 or recommend R2. All in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
1, 2, 3.
Wait a minute, Eric, is that what you, this is to
I
go?
I could go with either one.
Okay, but you're okay with denying it?
Denying it and recommending R2.
I guess ultimately, like you guys, what we've talked about, we've established, they live directly across the street. So I still don't think even at R2, they're not gonna build a trashy, I would hope, they're not gonna build a trashy.
No.
You made it R3, which would be more dense. The
Well,
R3's got 14, R2.
The
would have
R2, they
11.
said they would have to scale back from an architectural design.
Correct.
I
A
would
little
hope
bit
they
less.
wouldn't do that,
Okay.
living
So we
across
still
the
have-
street from it.
R3 to deny and recommend R2. Is that correct? 3 votes. Want to add to it or just be,
I'm gonna say okay with R3.
you're going to say okay with R3?
Is that the motion?
Well,
No,
the
the motion is to deny.
Deny and recommend R2.
Okay, so what was the vote for?
The vote is to deny R3 and go with R2.
Okay, and I voted for that, so we're
So
at
I'm the only one.
4 to 1.
Okay, it's 4 to 1. Ethan, you got that? Mitchell Hasty. Slam that.
Move approved.
Chris moves we approve.
Second.
Octavio seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it unanimously. Okay, Nelson,
I move to be approved.
Second.
Octavio, Chris seconds. All in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Let's get to the easy ones here. THB Development. This is the one on Lake Cathy Road. Staff says, recommends to not approve, saying R2 would be a better choice.
I make a motion to not approve the R3 and recommend R2.
Okay, R5, they were asking for
R5 and
R5.
R2.
And recommend R2. Any discussion?
So you're going from 103 to 45. Some of the concerns are that 45 still has an impact on that area significantly.
Any time that there's a development, it's gonna have some impact
I know.
in
Well,
any area.
There is, I mean, the problem, the truck needs a traffic light at Highway 201. I
There
mean,
are
that-
significant, I know personally people that have been seriously injured at that where it goes from a passing lane down to 2-lane with a Dollar General with the kids and so, I get it. And
Is that a state highway or?
that is a state highway. I don't know what the process would be for a red light there.
But the lady was right, it does, all of a sudden, narrow to 2 lanes right there, where it needs to be. Have at least a turn lane, but it doesn't, plus it doesn't have a light.
Yeah.
So traffic's a major issue, but if you're talking down to 40, 45, it's not that.
And based on the site plan, the entrance to that development is south fairly significantly from the large curve that
Yeah.
appears to be the
One thing I would
a
add.
major concern.
You know, it's not right next to Northwest High School, but it is in this same general area that the expansion of sewer has caused a lot of this, you know, what we've seen over the last month or two, and what we may continue to see with requests. It's still the same general area. It's not across the street, but
It is,
people, I mean, you know, people, that's still the same
It's still the
gen-
northwest
general, it's still the same general area, and we've got probably close to 700 lots that have been developed that have not been built on that are in that general area, not right by the school.
That's not a concern.
It is to me.
Well, if it's approved and it hasn't been built,
I know, but you have to take into account all of that.
Yeah, it all
Because
factors in.
it all factors in down the road with density and traffic. And what you're seeing now is a small portion of what that traffic is already approved that might look like.
no question
And
about it.
Chris, to your
We're gonna
point,
keep
the
growing, I think.
700, lots, they're, at least based on what I can recollect, they're all for those smaller 1,200, 1,300 square foot
They are.
homes.
They are. Now, these are larger.
These are larger
lots.
homes, larger lots.
Yeah, one of the things that the commissioners brought up was they wanted larger houses.
Yep.
The comment was they didn't want these,
That's the comments that I
1,000 to
have gotten.
1,200, yeah, and,
Well,
they wanted the bigger houses. And these are bigger houses, because they're gonna be
That's true.
R2.
That's correct.
The thing is, once again, Whitfield County is a mill county. People over here is making, the average income in Whitfield County is 60,000. And with that, you cannot buy a 400,000 to a house.
Yeah.
I mean, so,
You could, if you bought a $250,000 house 6 or 7 years ago, and now you're
Well,
looking,
we're
you're
talking
looking
about
to
today.
sell and move up, step up and home,
today,
Right.
and that's what we don't have any inventory of.
It's not entry level, I think is what you're saying.
That's right.
It's not entry level.
yeah, but 60,000 still is, the payment of 60,000 is about 1,700,
Sure.
including taxes and insurance.
Yep.
And that's doable with a 60,000 income, as long as the person has a good credit and they don't have too much debt.
But
I mean,
45 is a big number anyway, Chris, but do we have any, we can't help any with the traffic lights? I mean, is that something the commissioners can't help, I mean,
I don't know the process for beginning that whole study. I don't know. I mean,
It has been done. I mean, somebody has to, somebody has to talk to DOT. And that should be part of the commission.
and we've done it before, but I can tell you, it is.
It takes, it's not a 1 week or 1 day, it takes time. But that's part of the commissioners.
Right.
responsibility.
Okay. You know where Octavio's leaning.
Well, I already make a motion, so.
I
you can
second.
decline it.
You second the approval
Of the R2,
of R2.
yeah.
That's
That's
not-
what Octavia, I thought,
So the motion and the second was to follow staff recommendation.
follow the staff recommendation.
To deny the R5.
And go to
and
R2.
Recommend the R2, if that's.
105 is too many to
Yeah.
me, and that would be,
That's out of line.
yeah, that would be
Um,
very bad in that community. 45 is
so-
gonna be tough, I agree with you.
Do we have a second?
Oh, I second.
Steve seconds.
Motion, Octavia made the motion, I made a second.
To accept recommendations, all in favor, say aye.
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 We just got these two, the motions, are the only ones that voted aye.
Are you
so-
denying it? I mean, I mean,
Okay, now you ask, all opposed?
yeah.
Well, pushing you, all opposed? 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
So it's for denial. Unless there's a second motion to accept it, right?
Well, I think the motion on the table, that was for R2, but I think you'll need a motion to either approve or deny it
Yes,
under R3.
or R5.
I make a motion, we deny the R5.
That's Steve, for second.
Confused on
Second.
one.
Chris seconds to deny the R5. All in favor of denying R5, say aye.
Aye.
1, 2, 3, 4. All opposed?
Aye.
1 opposed. Octavia?
Who was it that made the motion to deny?
Steve.
Steve.
Chris seconded.
And all in favor except Octavio? Denies it.
We've got to start thinking, though, I mean, Octavia's saying it, you know, we got to allow people to build somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that,
We have-
and
we
the
have.
challenge is, that we're down to 45 houses. I know we've already voted on it, so I'm beating the cart's
Let me
already
say
gone,
this,
but.
Steve, and look, I live on the north end of the county. I don't live in that area, but I mean, I live east, considerably east of there. But that's kind of where I've, you know, that's been between there and West Side for 25 years. And any time where you have a point of convergence, where you've got people that have farmed a piece of property for decades and decades, and, you know, have had larger lot sizes, and this is not unique to our community. This has happened in every other community that's had some level of growth. It's hard, and it's very difficult, and it's not an easy thing, and I get, which I'm sitting here thinking both sides of it, and look, I'm a pro-development person. I've done it myself. I mean, I get it. I've been active in real estate things for years. I mean, I'm not somebody that hates it. I like it. I mean, it's been good. But at the same time, I can't get away from looking at that whole area and all of these things together and not just looking at each individual project. And I know that probably may not make sense to some people, but you gotta look at it all together because that area has transformed drastically in just the last 5 years. And when it builds out completely, it's even gonna be more than what it is now. What you see now is just a glimpse of what it'll be in 10 years when everything builds out. So I don't know what the answer is. I don't know, but it's a point of contention, and I could go both ways. I mean, I get it, but
The thing is, we need to grow, okay? And everybody, most people want it to grow as long as it's not in my backyard,
that's true.
so.
And I understand with sewer, that's a natural
Yeah,
avenue for
that's a place for-
growth, but it's also a natural avenue for higher density growth in an area that's never been densely developed, and that's the rub.
Well, that's where the county commissioners
I
come
know.
in.
And look, this doesn't
have
mean
to
that
be
that's the end of it. They may 100% agree on it.
Well, one thing that was interesting to me, just in this thing, very quickly, and I'll quit, is, this might actually help the water problem. I mean, the water problem that exists today has nothing to do with what these people are trying to do. That problem exists today. They're proposing, retainage, sewage water, runoff water, storage, so it might actually have helped the problem, but it'll be interesting to see what
Have
happens.
you ever been up to that part? Have you ever driven down Lake Cathy?
Oh, yes, I drove it on Thursday. Yeah, I've driven it several
I
times.
thought you were the type that goes and looks at things.
Yeah, I did. I went to look.
Okay, so. we take
That's
a-
it?
We made a recommendation. Okay,
No, there was no recommendation, I think it was a motion to deny.
yeah, it was a motion to deny it, and that's our recommendation to the county commission now, through the minutes, right? Okay, so we're down to the ordinance?
Yep.
Move
approve.
What, excuse me?
With respect to number three, line item 3 there, it's my understanding that with special use on the data center was put in error. They do want a definition, but continue to allow data centers outright and into. But,
To take the special,
so just strike the with a special use.
okay?
No, they're asking for a definition of it.
Oh, definitely.
It's just the definition.
But that they would have a special use of biohazard. Does that make sense?
Say that again, Robert?
Yeah, line, oh, I see, down here, line 3? Yeah.
Item 3 there?
Yeah.
I think the commissioners did not intend for there to be with a
I got
special
you.
use requirement. They just want to have the definition, so it's clear.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
Yes, sir.
So,
So as presented, just strike.
just strike out the,
Just approve it without that special use requirement in 3.
oh, okay. All right, we had a motion on that?
Second.
Who was the first? Chris?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said we have a first.
Do we have a first?
I made the motion on the, yes,
On the
yes.
on the text changes with, we strike out the with a special use required.
Yep.
And you have a second? All in
Yes.
favor of that, say aye. All opposed? Just on number 3?
Yeah.
Will we approve all items on that? Okay. Now, the UPUD, I think that's
Oh, that's
a
the
done
second
deal.
part to that.
That's a slam dunk.
Make a motion, we approve.
Steve makes a motion, we approve. Octavio seconds, we approve the proposed amendment to the zoning ordinance for the UPUD. The green space, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Just a second. That completes that, doesn't it, Ethan?
No,
The text amendments.
it
Didn't we not
completes
do?
that portion. We've still got one more.
Oh, yeah, it does the text amendment, so there's more. Vivian Ramirez, yes. That's the one downtown with, trying to rehab that building and live in it. And
Move approve.
Second.
Chris makes a motion to approve. Brad seconds. All in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. And, oh, here comes Jean. Here comes, she won't let us go.
Here comes Johnny. Here comes Jim.
Somebody else.
At what point does something come in that makes sense? You're exactly right. That's what we need.
This property is zoned agricultural. Out of this county. You look at your screen, you see where it is, south of the Klein lumberyard.
Oh, yeah.
Probably all know where this is. It holds, a little more than 50 acres. It was two separate tax parcels, is right now, two separate tax parcels. And you can see the one on the north side, if you look at your screen, the one on the north side is already a flag lot. So what they've done is, what they want to do is take this 50 acres and now divide it into 3 tracts, 2 of which will have flag lots. And And they're still big. One's a 10-acre tract,
Yeah.
one's a 16-acre tract, one's a 20-acre tract. So we're taking 3 tax parcels and we're gonna make, 2 tax parcels and we're gonna make 3, 2 of which have flag lots.
The yellow one's on a hell of a flag lot.
Yeah.
This,
A major flag
Yeah, a major flag lot.
An extra flag.
Really the only way you can get into the property. If you look at it now, it has no movement.
Who owns the green property?
Sir,
They own the green property as well?
they own all.
So if it's that 100 feet here?
The one on the south side,
No, I mean the entrance. The
60
east-
feet.
Which is 60 feet.
The yellow.
The
Yeah, that's 60 feet. Okay.
That, the blue one is
It's about
75.
75, 80 feet, yeah. Is the topography,
What's their plans for this, Gene?
No,
is the topography reasonable? Do we care?
I don't know that we care, but I think it is reasonable.
now, if this is gonna be 3 different tracks now.
Is what?
The yellow, the blue, and the green, that's the 3 tracks.
Yes, that's the 3 tracks.
So you're gonna take part of this or no? This over here will be the 2 more tracks?
No, no, no. We're 3 tracks all total. Went from 50 acres to a 10-acre tract, to a 16-acre tract, and to a 20-acre tract.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
we've done.
So which one is the one that is subdivided, the yellow, the green, or?
Well, if you look on the screen, you see on your screen
Oh,
what
yeah,
it
yeah.
was, it was 2 tax parcels. And now they're making it into 3.
Oh, okay.
What's their plans? I mean, do we know?
You know, the Klein family had whoever the original people were died, this is their children. And a lot of problems, so they're trying to figure out a way to.
Kind of clean it up to eventually.
Okay, we have,
I make a motion, we approve the flag lot.
that's Steve. Octavio seconds. All in favor of approval of these flag lots, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
Okay, this next one is, in the city. And this is mainly for Brad and Steve, because they weren't here at the time
Oh,
that this
yeah.
was done. This is the only.
This is the UPUD.
development that we have.
I rode through there
South
Friday.
Hamilton, South Hamilton,
South of Ryman's Plaza.
ACT.
Oh, yeah. And the unique thing about UPUDs is that during the rezoning process, they had to submit what you see on your screen. They had to submit preliminary with all of the
Yeah.
work, design work already done. And then once they get the infrastructure in the ground and do the final plat, it still has to come back to you guys for final approval, and they have done all that. It's been signed off by everybody. I know the copy you have in front of you doesn't have signatures on it, but Ethan has all the signatures. They brought it to you today, signed off by City Public Works, Dalton Utilities, Water and Sewer. Everybody has looked at this inside, outside, upside down, and they're ready to start building. So all they need from you guys is approval to get going.
So move.
Second.
Brad, Octavio seconds. All in favor of approval? Say
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it.
Be built. It's gonna be neat.
I think it is. I'm gonna give you these.
Where am I looking? What am I missing?
South of Ryman Plaza.
It's the old Mohawk building
Okay.
ACT
that they
is.
tore down.
Where ACT is.
Yeah, right
yes.
there.
Okay,
The cities,
I got you.
and.
Which has got a big empty
Now,
space now.
Oh, yeah, they just-
which they did it without
ACT.
having any garage or anything for the cars, for the lots. Nothing, and that was one of the conditions.
So it's all on street?
That, I made that part of, say, if you're gonna be houses for people to live in, they have to have a place to park.
Well, it
And-
didn't get through. Oh, yeah, there's parking.
Yeah, but
There's no garages.
it's no carport or garage for them,
Just a pad.
yeah.
Yeah. No, that doesn't have, that, what we voted on tonight, the green space.
So-
That's not really part of, that's just general for the whole,
Well,
It's
the
not-
green space design is just another
yeah,
option.
but that's not here, yeah.
If you want to develop a UPUD, you can do develop that green space corridor.
Yep.
And if
Gotcha.
you choose to do that design, then it has to have that,
Green space.
but you don't have to.
Yeah.
You can do something like this.
But this is gonna have a green space.
No, it's got a general green space,
Well,
but
it
not,
does, I mean,
yeah.
it does have some green space.
Community space, but it's not-
Some green space, but not that.
not for,
Yeah.
not for what we talked about tonight.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, Gene. Thanks for dinner too, it was good.
Sometimes.
I'm just trying to figure out how we leverage